pleased that the Scottish Government haven't gone down the route of the Westminster Government and calling for a pay freeze, but it's nowhere near enough. And, you know, we've already got pay claims in for both our local government and indeed our health members in Scotland calling for a £2,000 pay increase. And that's really important to us that we continue to push for that. And we're getting a lot of support from that, certainly from our members, obviously, but from the public too. And we think this is sort of strikes the right chord with many of the public, that this is what public sector workers actually deserve, is something that is reasonable.
Well, that's not what the Scottish Secretary said yesterday, the Finance Secretary. She said it's about £750. So if it's not reasonable, what do you say to the Scottish Government?
Well, we'll begin to talk to them. We'll be starting negotiations, I hope, with the Scottish Government and indeed with Scottish employer organisations to see if we can shift this. You know, that's where, you know, people start with a certain position, and of course it's our job as negotiators to go in and try and change that position, and that's something we'll be doing.
You represent workers primarily in health, but also in the police, in education. If you look at the NHS, something like almost up to 20% of all the money spent by the NHS is on private suppliers, either private hospitals or private nursing banks. Would you agree that given what we've seen, you need to increase that now? There needs to be more private in terms of the private element in the NHS?
No, certainly not. I mean, I can understand, and I think our members would certainly understand why this has happened during the pandemic. And it's kind of all hands to the pump, isn't it? You know, you want to get as many people working in the NHS as possible. But you know what? It kind of links back to your previous question, which is why are people not joining the NHS? Why have we got such high vacancies? And partly that's because of the pay rates. I'm not saying it's the only reason, but it's one of the reasons. And I think we have had, you know, maybe mixed messages coming out from governments around how valuable they are, how valuable the workers in the NHS and indeed other public services are, but not valuable enough to give them £2,000.